Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is MUKHREEZ MAYSNAN, and in this video, I will be presenting about my final assessment, which is a digital printing value page in this subject, which is digital printing fundamentals. So, firstly, uh, my calendar is inspired by the musical event, which is it's a musical festival event, which is Tomorrowland. So, let's continue with the first slide. So, I will be explaining about the target user and purpose. So, my target user for this calendar is an individual which consists of age between 18 to 30, and I will categorize this age range by using the name of young adults. So, my calendar is global target, and people who buy this calendar have a lifestyle of social, digitally active, and also experience oriented. And most of their interest is towards music festivals, travel, design, and also social media. So the target users are usually a fans of electronic dance music, festival goers, individuals who appreciate visual aesthetics, and also experience-driven users who value memorable moments. Based on my research, festival goers tend to have some minor problems regarding their overall experience when coming to Tomorrowland. Many users feel that their experiences are short-lived and difficult to preserve in a meaningful way. Some of their concerns are such as value experiences over physical objects, seek emotional connection and escapism, enjoy documenting and sharing memories, and also appreciate visually immersive and aesthetic designs. So, moving on to the second slide, which I will be explaining about the design idea and inspiration behind my calendar. So, firstly, I would like to explain that Tomorrowland is one of the world's biggest and most famous electronic music festivals. It takes place every year in Boom, Belgium, and some of which in Thailand. Known for its massive scale and immersive storytelling, the festival transformed its ground into elaborate fantasy worlds, combining music, art, and technology into a unique experience. So, the key feature of my calendar must be include um, festival-inspired world or theme for each month, and also space for users to document personal memories and reflections, visually immersive design inspired by fantasy and music culture, and also the material must be used sustainable materials and production methods. This project focuses on the design of a creative calendar as a form of festival merchandise. So, moving on to the next slide, which I will be showing you the mood board reference and also the visual direction of how my calendar would be look like. So as we can see, um, there are a bunch of preferences. Um, these are some main stages of the theme that I will be designing on the calendar, and also the layout that I will be pursuing on making this calendar. So move on to the design choice. So firstly, my layout will be vertical. So the top of the calendar will be the month and the year, the middle for the design, and the bottom for the days for that specific month. So the typography or fonts that I will be using is called Apple Peach. And the color that I will be playing with is mostly complementary color. And as you can as you can see, uh, on top here, uh, there are some list out color combination that I will be using. So the visual hierarchy um, is that I will be highlighting the design instead of the days. So that's what my characteristic of my calendar would be look like. So in my sketches, I've made some points that every month would be theme of every main stage for each year. For instance, like January would be the theme for Tomorrowland 2016. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's called the Rising of Life. And then February, the next year for the following year, which is theme the key of to happiness, and March, the Secret Kingdom of Melodia, and etc. etc. So moving on to the next slide, which I will be showing you an overview of my calendar. So here we have January, February, and April. So this is my final design, by the way, for this calendar for this month. So for January, February, and April. So yeah, it will be look like this. So the print production specification is that the pages are size about A3 size, A3 dimensions. The color mode that I will be using is CMYK, coated foreground 39. The image resolution would be the image resolution which I make the design would be square, which is 1 by 1. It's 358 by 496 1 pixels at 300 dpi. Also, the margins would be the content itself will be 3 millimeter from border, and also the bleed will be 3 millimeter from the border, which is outside in my AI in my Illustrator. So the export format for my calendar would be high quality print using Adobe Acrobat PDF X4. So moving on to the next slide, which is the digital printing workflow. Firstly, I started with 12 artboards in Illustrator, portraying the 12 months in each year, and accurately set the bleed and margins early on so that I won't be having any mistakes later on. And then with each artboard in the Illustrator, I started design the calendar based on my visual concept and design. And by using the calendar of 2027, I'm able to place all the days in each month accurately. And then after I finish my design, it's time for the export. And during the exportation, I set the preferred PDF profile and CMYK settings so that it produce high quality prints and also color accurate. So moving on to the next slide, which is value proposition for digital printing. So digital printing is suitable for this calendar because it's cost friendly and easily editable due to the fact that my design are quite complex and I find myself constantly adjusting it. The benefits of digital printing it is good for business compared to other printing method where the design are quite delicate and limited to create before printing. There, you save time and cost. Also, the usage of custom PDF format makes digital printing superior to others because of minimal quality reduction while being compressed. So, this is my final slide, which I will be explaining about the reflection and improvement uh, that I experienced. So, I've learned a lot about digital printing this semester during this subject that I have never known in my entire life. For instance, what kind of CMYK mode is best for printing high quality print, setting border and bleed to avoid mistakes, and also types of printing method. I never know there's so much to learn in printing. The only thing I will improve is to learn how to consistently print using the method showed by my lecture and knowing all the troubleshoot. This is because sometimes I forgot on what to check and observe before exporting, and when there is a troubleshoot, I don't know what to do most of the time. And if I were to prepare my file better for professional production, I would test print a couple to ensure the color, format, resolution, and layout are accurate. So um, that's all from me in this video. Thank you for watching.